7. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, excellent people, loveliness all around. It is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2016. I'm a little under the weather, but all that means is that my voice is all the more manly. My light is tipping closer to me, which means my face is unusually bright, unusually white, and it is my unusually large delight to be streaming HearthStone today. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a hyperbolic person, but HearthStone is going to introduce formats. Oh my god! Ah! For any of you who haven't heard the news, HearthStone is introducing formats. Now, formats are a concept introduced by Wizards of the Coast with Magic the Gathering, or I should say, largely popularized. I'm sure there might have been some instance of this beforehand, but considering that Magic the Gathering was the big trading card game, and still is the big trading card game, the idea of a format is that there are certain conditions under which you can build decks, and those conditions define a format. For instance, the standard format is any card released in the last 2 years. The modern format is like any card released in the last 8 years. Legacy is like all the cards that have ever been released with some exceptions. And these different formats in Magic the Gathering allow for a couple of interesting things to happen. For one, it allows Standard, which is the most popular format by far, to keep rotating and changing and shifting, and it stays interesting and fresh. Is there that deck you really hate? Well, don't worry, because it's going to be phasing out of the standard format. Whoops. Oh, we have a little reality showing. There we go. It allows you to see different deck archetypes coming up all the time. It allows new players to have some way to get into the game and not have too much to process. This is how I learned and got into Magic. Is first I played sealed formats and then moved on to standard, where I kind of I go between those two. Still mainly sealed and draft. So when Hearthstone came out, Hearthstone didn't have formats. Now, I paused because I forgot to mention perhaps one of the most important reasons why formats were created, which was the same concern I had when I saw Hearthstone not have formats at launch, right? There's this real problem if you're trying to release new cards, but you still have a bunch of old cards in old decks. How do you convince people to get the new cards? Well, in short, they better be doing something new and better than the old things, otherwise they're not interesting. What's a really simple example? The Grand Tournament came out, I couldn't tell you the name of half the Grand Tournament cards because I've never played them because they suck. In theory, an alternative to the sucky card problem is you create new mechanics. The cards do new things. But still, as we saw with the Grand Tournament, the Inspire mechanic was a new mechanic, and the newness was not enough to override the badness of many of the cards. And so another possibility is that the card designers could make the cards more and more and more and more powerful, but I think everyone knows that that sucks, right? Especially if you wind up with Hearthstone being a game that's decided in the first 2 to 3 turns. That's not so good. So, formats allow for a more stable and consistent control over the metagame and standard. So the new changes, and let me adjust this light. It hurts to look at you right now. Let me tuck this down so that way you don't see the tummy time. So this is really exciting to see that Hearthstone is going to be doing this, and their standard format is going to be the last year of cards, plus the basic and class card set. They also said they're probably going to be nerfing some of the Druid cards. So it's really, really exciting. So, I mean, because I am so hyped as shit for this, I cannot stress enough that this is for me. This is my perfect hope and dream for Hearthstone, because now it means that deck construction, which is by far my favorite part of Hearthstone, hell, I play a different deck in every single show I do. I mean, that's just, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It means that I get to try to make a new Shadow Form Priest in every single standard block. Oh, Oh, that's so wonderful. And there's a few kinks to work out. For instance, you can no longer buy old packs or old adventures. You can enchant for them, and I think that that's just... everyone thinks that's garbage. I haven't seen anyone be like, that's so great, I don't get to buy old cards. A lot of people play games to collect and to complete, so I'm very... I'm giving Blizzard the benefit of the doubt, but that seems like a very odd thing to do. But also 18 deck slots, which seems reasonable, seems good. I'm pretty fine with that. But I mean, all in all, I mean, frankly, if they did all that other stuff, if they did all that other terrible stuff, I wouldn't matter. Even if they did even if they limited you down to 3 deck slots, I wouldn't care. The creation of formats are so huge for for this game. I just, holy shit! If you haven't played Magic the Gathering, and you should if you haven't, you can't even begin to comprehend how amazing formats are. You can't. Oh my god, it works so great in Magic. Oh my god. But of course, the Magic the Gathering designers are pretty much some of the best multiplayer game designers in the world. Or actually, I mean, like, each individual person who's designing on Magic, I would call one of the greatest multiplayer game designers in the world. So, I'd be very curious to see if Blizzard can do the same sort of brilliance that Magic the Gathering does. Already doing a great job with Hearthstone as far as I'm concerned. So here's what I'm doing today. I'm doing a double Bloodlust Shaman. This is a deck that was created by Mr. Yagut that he used to hit Legend, or either was used to hit or was climbing up the Legend ladder. And a lot of it is a fairly reasonable construction. I mean, having double Bloodlust and then running essentially the big mid-game tools. There's a couple of interesting choices. Abusive Sergeant I really like as a choice. This permits a little bit more of an activation potential for an Nerubian Egg, and of course plays very well with totems. We have some of the really common things. Feral Spirit, there's a lot of aggro on the ladder. Flame Tongue Totem's going to work well with all this stuff. And it doesn't get said enough, but Abusive Sergeant just inherently combos amazingly well with Flame Tongue Totem because it's a dude you can play on turn 1 in order to make your Flame Tongue Totem a little more awesome. So Big Game Hunter makes sense. We generally don't have very good card draw, so having 3 answers to big things makes sense because very often we'll have 1, sometimes 2. Here is my favorite choice in this, Brand Bronzebeard, to do things like to buff Defender of Argus. Fire Elemental will fire twice. Abusive Sergeant will fire twice. Cool stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, there's only 1 of these. And of course, because we are playing, why would we not be running an Azure Drake? And then to close it out, just cards that also function very well with setting up for a Bloodlust, Dr. Boom and Lotham. So it's a very straightforward deck. I've adored playing a mid-range Shaman before. Also, because of the format arrival, I'm going to try to hit Legend this month. This week, I'm going to have a nice, relaxing, doing new deck stuff, which I really like. Ah!
Ro versus Valera.
Watch your back.
For Doomhammer.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a big push for Legend. Oh yeah. Trolled 1731, Twee 147, Larceny 13, The Sloth Bear, Flock of Flame Smurf, Keat SW, Danliciousness, The Y-Crad, Arceus Windfury, Jay Shea.
The pleasure is
Oh
mine.
my gosh, there's so many of you. Welcome.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings, friend. So yeah, I'm going to be... eagerly awaiting the arrival of the the formats. But yeah, this week I'm going to be doing just very normal, reasonable, standard, typical dick around and do some awesome deck shit. And then subsequently, I'll be pushing for Legend throughout the month. I'm going to go ahead and run out Bran.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
This is a very aggressive card, so... Oh, you can't do that. Shit. I was very not worried about that because of that very reason. Well, fuck. What to do? Well, I guess I'll just draw. Forgive me, I think I have a hair, like, stuck somewhere in here. God. Ah. Is that one of my hairs? I don't know what that is. Ugh. We're getting low, man. Low. Sippity sap, just like that. Can't BGH it? What would I use to BGH it, my friend?
Get in there and fight, maggot!
I'm gonna stick my finger in my mouth for a little bit. Ah. There we go. That I can kill. So we're dead. We're like, we really died. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 9. Boy, that's not enough to kill him, is it? Alright. So this has to be a Tonto. It's a really easy game.
I've got the beast in my sight.
Well played.
Could be dead. Could be dead. They could just Blade Flurry.
I feel icky.
Well played.
Alright, it's gonna be Sinister Strike. Alright, Blade Flurry. No big deal. This deck has almost all ultra low cards in it, so just no big deal. Oh my god, I'm so excited about formats. Oh. The Tumbleweed Girl, hang in there.
Jaina.
You asked for it.
Hang in there.
For Doomhammer.
Have my support. You can always find a reprieve in this here wonderful channel of day, nights, and joy. What type of... Sean, what's the type of deck you like? Combo, control, aggro, or mid-range? Basically not aggro. I'm really not good at building aggro decks. I'm not very fond of building aggro decks.
Sever my wrath.
Info says, just signed up for Atlas Beta. How's your day at work? Dude, today was a really good day. Really good day. And the reason that it was so good, other than the fact that I'm a little under the weather, as you can tell by my voice, my manly voice. So, I'm trying to think of a comparison that I can do. Because I think so much in Atlas terms, trying to think of like another version. Okay. Here's a really, really simple example. Oh my god, baby cat. Oh, come here. Hold on, I'm not gonna tell you anything yet, Dentos. I got a baby cat. Hello. Oh, you're just looking at my food, huh? No, you don't get it. You don't get my food. Come here. No, no, no. Oh, you're gonna escape that way, huh? A bold play. Alright. No, that's my fucking dinner. Really? Okay. Sucks a little bit, but it's alright. Might even add just some bread. Hello, Sheriff. No. So this is probably a mirror entity. This is okay. Okay, so here's an example of why I had a good day today. So, when you're working on a new concept or a new system, you don't just implement it. Unless you're at a company that I would say doesn't do good design. At a lot of game companies, the way that things are made is a designer just says, hey, make this. And then they just do. That's the process. So that's a little crazy. That's not a robust testing procedure, but anyways, so if I have a new concept and I think that it could be really, really cool, what I want to do is I want to implement some sort of basic version of it initially. And then once I have that basic version, I want to see how to slowly step towards my final version, getting good information along the way. Here's a really clean, simple, good example. So for a moment, let's suppose that Counter-Strike hasn't been invented yet. And Counter-Strike has what's called spray patterns, where when you hold the fire button, not only does your gun recoil up, but it also recoils in a very specific pattern. Let's see here. So what I want to do is 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do this.
I wonder.
No, I want to do this. Nope, I don't want to do that. Hold on, let me just count real fast. So I do this first.
I see.
And I hit like this, and then I do like this, and then I hit like that. So in Counter-Strike, when you hold the fire button, it recoils up, but in a very specific pattern, called a spray pattern. So if you have an AK and you hold the fire button, what you get is it looks kind of like a 7. Like the number 7. So,
I've got the beast in my sight.
And so, if you are playing Counter-Strike and you want to try to aim accurately, you have to aim in the reverse shape of the spray pattern, right? You're aiming down and at weird angles to basically make the reverse of the 7-ish shape. So, if we're speaking in the context of trying to design this, trying to create what we think will make a cool... will spray patterns be cool? What we would do as a first experiment is we would make one gun with one spray pattern and have a bunch of tests with that, right? That is a reasonable testing procedure. We wouldn't design the AK-47 and the M4 and then a whole bunch of submachine guns, each with varying in different spray patterns. We wouldn't do that because that's inefficient. What if we start playing and we think to ourselves, man, you know, I don't like spray patterns. Let's get that one out. We would have wasted a lot of work. So we're going to make one rifle with one spray pattern, and we're going to build from there. That is a good way to do a testing procedure. Boom. And I bring this up because... actually, I'm just going to go through some more examples of that because I think that's a really useful thought process. If you were going to make StarCraft, you might not start with all three races. You might make just Terran. You might isolate that problem a little bit. If you were going to make Hearthstone, you might not start with 9 classes. You might design one class. You might design a few cards, and you just figure out the rules of basic combat. Or you want to stay small, you start to grow.
Throw versus garage.
So you start a simple version of the end idea that you want. And so what's really exciting is that sometimes that very first version, which would be the first rifle, or it would be just Terran, or it would be you know, just one class. This first example, it actually turns out to be pretty damn fun and does a huge step forward and shows a lot of potential. And that's how I would describe my day at work today. That there was something that... there's something that had a lot... or what I thought would be a lot of work before it started to be actually reasonably fun. And instead, it was just pretty fucking cool right away. Hit my 1-2. Look at my 1-2. My 1-2's amazing. This was very exciting. We did a test of a new system that's going to be the start of a large set of systems. I was very happy with how it turned out. To the face, to the face. Do I have to do much programming? Not exactly. To the face. I work with a ton of tools. So that's what's up. Ossifer Nasty and Cluthu. Hello, hello, hello. Loathsome. This is probably right. Maybe I should have killed this first. The good old egg. Elementary, my dear doctor. I may have missed, but what do you feel about formats? We just had ourselves a long discussion about formats, man. A long discussion. The face is the place. Oh man, Day 9 calling his coworkers tools. I didn't mean that, Orange Nova. I work with precisely 0 tools, in fact. Every person I work with is pretty fucking great. Alright. All my stuff's gonna survive. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's so bad. 4. So this is 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Bleh. Be a Tonto. Whoops. I'm actually gonna run out this bad boy right away.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
So I just gotta hope he doesn't have another brawl. Oh my god, any of you watched Mostly Walking from yesterday? That was undamn believable. It was so good. Oh my god, the show last night was really, really incredible. That's alright. Woo!
Back to work.
It's nice to get that one out. Alright. Let's keep the pressure on him. Beston's kitty powers. Oh my god, yeah, it's just... Ouch. Not gonna do very much to me, though. See? It's gonna be real hard for him to pressure me. Rightfully says, so as a game designer, do you have to know coding? Or can you just use your tools to achieve your ideas? I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't have to sit down and, like, write the code, but there's a certain thought process that you really need that coding provides to you, I feel. So I think we won. Hit, hit. So I can hit, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, almost 9, and what's 9 and 7? Is it 16? I think it's still correct to do if this is what his answer is right now. So I do this, and then I do this, and I hit like this. And, I mean, do I go for the face? I actually think I do. I'm just gonna do it. I'm trying to get better at playing aggressive decks where I just, like, hit him right in the head a little more. Do you see yourself streaming more wild or standard format when they come out? Standard, 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 standard. I actually think that as a player I will perform better in standard. Because the thing about Hearthstone right now is there's a couple of decks that really I should just learn. Like Secret Paladin, I didn't play very well when I first played it a few times ago. However, I feel like I could spend some time, take some opportunity to learn it, and then I could just go get Legend if I just sat and grinded for a really long time. Or what I'm going to do this month is I'm just going to stick with a Zulok deck. I'm going to start really early, grinding my way up.
I've got the beast in my
And I think that it will be very reasonable for me to hit Legend this month. And I don't like that. I don't like that very much. I don't like the fact that I could conceivably just pick a deck and just play a thing happens. I feel like it would be cool if there was this rotating format where I could feel like I was figuring stuff out and succeeding as a result. That's what I would like.
Let the pain speak to me.
Slam him. Alright. Let's top deck that Bloodlust, huh? It's not gonna get any cards yet.
Welcome to the grand tournament.
Good play by him. Good play by him. This is gonna be a little hard until I just top deck the Bloodlust I need. Alright, that really actually didn't even do much for me. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Yeah. I wonder. No, that's not gonna do anything. I just don't want him to draw cards. What is the best way for me to do this? Is it this and to kill Justicar?
My shield is for
I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do this. Even though it sucks. Oh, this is okay. I guess this is okay. He's gonna regret that, because off the top comes a Bloodlust. It's kind of like Bloodlust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, I guess we do this. We hit like this, and we hit like this, and then we do this, and we do this, and we summon this. Look, I can't even push the button. Let's get that Bloodlust going, man. Bloodlust, baby. Oh no, desubito. Started a new K-drama. Hit me again.
Answer the call of the light.
Oh, Grand Crusader, come on, man. I think we ran out of steam. Never mind. Never run out of steam ever. Does the deck also run Thunder Bluff? Nope. Noper, noper, nipper, noper. No, don't, no. And I mean, we lost. Let's see if he sees it. Very well. It appears I am alive. Let's see if we can pull this one out. It's gonna be close. Let's see if he sees it. Didn't work. I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna blow my nose. Blow my dizzy nosy. And we'll be right back. We're gonna kick some ass.